Welcome back to part 2 of creating a smart college list. We'll jump right in with step 4. We'll think about cost and financial aid. So we like to come at it with a perspective that cost should not prevent you from exploring different options, but it is absolutely something that you should take into consideration when looking at different schools. So one way we can do this is through the Student Aid Index Calculator. If you've heard of the FAFSA, this is related to that. This is the Federal Student Aid website. The FAFSA is something that you would be completing next year, so no need to worry about it right now. But we can do a little estimate here that might help you get a better understanding of the options you have for paying for college, and like it says here, an early estimate of how much federal student aid you might be eligible for and might be able to expect next year. So that can help with some of the cost of school. An additional option would be some colleges might offer merit scholarships based on GPA or other things, other affiliations you have. So there might be other types of awards with that. The institution websites often have scholarships posted based on specific colleges or programs you might be involved in. And again, Naviance has a scholarships tab, so you can look at college-specific scholarships on there. Step 5, we'll look at some admission rates, graduation rates, and career options. So this college data website is really great for seeing different information about admission rates and everything like that. So if we might be interested in the University of Minnesota Twin Cities here, we can look at some of those things. So we can see our admission rate, how many applicants were admitted, things like that. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics also offers a website here. This is more so for looking at careers. So say we might be interested in architecture and engineering careers. Perhaps we can just go with an aerospace engineer. So this will give us some information about the median pay, the degrees necessary. That can help us narrow down different schools we want to look at. ONET is another website that's very similar to this Bureau of Labor and Statistics website that again just offers different ways to explore different careers. All right, so last but not least, let's bring it all together. So when we're building our list, at this point we have identified several different schools that we're interested in based on our financial situation, our interest, the location that we're looking at, etc., and etc. So when we think about building our list, we want to include a number of different options for ourselves. So it's always beneficial to have one Minnesota school, and we like to recommend a Minnesota Direct Admission School, perhaps. This is a program you will learn more about next year. But Minnesota, there are several universities and colleges in Minnesota that partner with high schools that allow students to have essentially direct admission into the institutions based on a tiered system based on GPA. So again, you'll learn about this more next year, but it can be a really great opportunity to make college accessible for you. It's also good to include 1 to 2 dream schools. So these are schools that might be a little bit more selective, that you might not have as solid of a chance of acceptance for. But there might be schools that you're really, really interested in based on what they offer, so it does not hurt to apply to a couple of these. We also want to include perhaps 2 to 3 target schools. So we're looking at more of a 16 to 60% chance of acceptance here, so a little bit higher of a chance that we're going to be accepted, but still it's not totally a guarantee. So with that, we also want to include perhaps 2 to 3 what we would call a match school. So an acceptance rate of maybe greater than 60%. So we're looking at a relatively high chance of getting into these schools. And it's good to include some of these, and as well as the Minnesota school, should you not be accepted into your dream or target schools. It's nice to have a couple of additional options that might have some higher chances of acceptance if you really would like to attend a college right after high school graduation. So this is by no means a perfect method for building a list, but it does get you thinking about the location, acceptance rate, things offered at different schools. There is a lot that goes into this, so consider your specific situation, your interests, what you're looking for, and hopefully this video was helpful in allowing you to think about those things and how they relate to building your college list. Of course, contact your counselor if you have any further or different specific questions. Thanks for watching.